Give your best in every situation. So Vedanta says something very powerful, and these are the teachings that people should apply in their life. Because your breath is not in control. And I think the more you put effort, the more results you will get, and the more you will climb higher. And a leader should be here, not by degrees or not by giving exams. It should not be the ego, it should be I go. Whenever this I goes from you, you are free. And I think the path of self-evolution and self-awareness is not meant for who are weak-hearted, not meant in your comfort zone. Very important. Now everyone talks about behavior and all, but Bhagavad Gita has given in detail that every individual has a certain behavior. Once that is decoded,
we have been putting a lot of work and effort behind the show, and we want to continue to grow to bring you even better content. For that, I have a small favor to ask you: to subscribe. It will help us more than you think. Now, enjoy this amazing episode. From the Vedanta philosophy, what are some principles that you can share with us that can help us to understand life?
two important principles of Vedanta that I have applied. That we all come from the same source. That we all are one. Maybe the tiniest creature, maybe you, maybe me. And there is no me in that. We all are one. Secondly, don't get attached to anything because everything has an expiry date. If you have this awareness, you realize that life is a beautiful play and you enjoy it. And I think the biggest problem is having, control over others. Once you let go of others, automatically love will flow. And also understanding that if you have the right to live, even I have the right to live. At the same time, if I have the right to live, I should give others the right to live. If you have that understanding, slowly with practice, that peace will come.
I think it's for me, one of the most difficult parts is to practice how to let go.
Very difficult for everyone.
Yeah.
And people say that, no, I can let go.
Yeah.
You can pretend that you're letting it go. Let go will happen when you're free from your mind. Only when you're free from your mind.
What are some misconceptions that you see that exist regarding spirituality, especially in the business world?
It's very, very strange. Especially in the business world, spirituality means that a person, is very, very soft, very, very shy. Anyone can tell him anything, has no knowledge what is happening, doesn't know about rules and regulations, and, can't handle situations or can't even interact. No. A spiritual person is completely aware. He knows everything. He knows how to respond. He knows what is required to be done and the way it needs to be done. So, especially if I believe you're talking about the business world or the corporate world, I think spirituality should be ingrained in the system and infused in the system so that it makes us realize that if every individual is doing their job properly, everything will blossom. But the mind can't accept. We want control, we want name, we want to be recognized that I'm doing this, and that is where conflict starts.
Okay. So maybe I think a good way is maybe to understand what is your definition of spirituality. What is spirituality?
My definition, that's a very good question. In very simple language, I have only one definition, that everything is spiritual. And that everything can be spiritual when you do everything giving your best. Anything, while even talking to you, or while having water, or even while looking in this camera, I am giving my best. But the condition is, I am not expecting anything in return. Because I know at the end of the day, there's some greater force that will take care. But that will happen only when I'm giving my best and just letting, people call it I'm flowing in the moment. No one flows in the moment. You're flowing when you want to flow because things are easy. In any situation when you know things are not in your control and then you're flowing, then you are being one with nature. That is what I believe. Of course, there are many aspects, but simply to apply in day-to-day life, this is what I believe.
Yeah, I really like it. And for me, something that I had a block, which was I was always, because of my education, the way I was educated, religion is equal to spirituality. There was a big block, and I'm grateful. In one of my trips to Rishikesh,
Oh, I'm so happy you came to Rishikesh.
Yeah, it was very important. I was able to understand the difference.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck.
So,
maybe you can share a little bit. What is the difference like between religion and spirituality?
I'll be very honest with you. Whenever we talk about religion, there is this understanding that there is one God sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
And telling you do this, do that. And there's a lot of fear. A lot of fear. That if I don't do this, then this will happen. Or if I don't do this, then this will happen. No, I have to do this. But when we talk about spirituality, everything is God. Because you are God. We all are one. Everything is flowing. The entire microcosm, macrocosm, entire cosmos is one. And you are aligned with everything. So there are no others. As Ramana Maharshi said, someone asked, who are you? Who are they? What is happening? And he said, there are no others. Everything is one. There's a difference. And I think nowadays people have a lot of fear about many, many things. But I would personally say that just be a good person. Don't be jealous. Don't have inner conflicts. Learn to accept situations. And always remember that, these are all clouds. The sky is infinite. You are that infinite sky. So small things will give you an experience. But yeah, religion is where there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of misunderstanding. But if you say that spirituality is religion, with this understanding, then everything is okay.
I see. But there can be also, you can be a spiritual person without having a religion. Is that correct?
If you understand this, then everything will merge.
Yeah, okay.
Then there is nothing called spirituality, nothing called religion. Everything is one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we are also talking about concepts, right?
We are talking about concepts. And I think in the beginning, what is the downfall that I have realized? We are conditioned with society, education system, upbringing, friend circle, different cultures. But they don't understand that everything is binding by this something very great force. And once you attune to that, you will realize that it's beautiful. Every day there's a new day. Every day the trees are new. Every day Ganga Ma is flowing. Every day in Mumbai people are wearing new clothes. People are walking around. Everything is new. We are very unaware.
And why do you think people struggle in that journey?
I think people struggle because first is they are conditioned. We are conditioned a lot from our parents, from our school. Second is there is a lot of attachment to this body. To this existence, attachment to what we want to become. There's a lot of expectations and boundaries that we have created. And when it is not satisfied, then we land up in the ignorance. Yeah.
There's the concept of ego.
Yeah.
So it's something that you talk a lot about it.
Yes.
Maybe you can share what it is and how it's impacting our daily lives.
Whenever we talk about ego, it is something which is binding you into a limitation and holding you back. And it is giving you a lot of duality. When I say duality means it is not bad. It will give you happiness also. It will give you sorrow also. It will give you pain also. It will give you pleasure also. And it is something which is completely binding you. I want things this way. I want things that way. So generally, whenever I counter ego, I have a very simple answer. It should not be the ego. It should be I go. Whenever this I goes from you, you are free. That means whenever you have an understanding, even if I get this cell phone, I'm happy. Even if I don't get the cell phone, I'm happy. Then slowly you'll start responding. But generally we don't, because we are taken over by our emotions. And that is expectation, desire, attachment, attention. These are all things which are amplifying your ego. At any level, maybe at corporate level, maybe at your family level, even between siblings, anywhere you go. Even if you and me have the same cell phone, I'll be worried you have a better cover. We are that micro level we go in our ego, which is very sad.
And you mentioned about the way we handle emotions, right? Maybe you can help us to understand how does the emotion, how emotions work?
It is very fabulous because when we talk about emotions, Western philosophy, when we talk about Western philosophy, they always say that, someone is going to the moon, outward emotions, everyone should be happy, this is happening in the world. But whenever you come to this side, or when you come to Rishikesh or come to Sanatan Dharma philosophy, you realize that every text starts generally with pain. Or if you have read or gone through the stories of great saints or enlightened beings, they have gone through a lot of pain, through the highest duality, in the darkest, deepest nights, ocean, everything. But the termination is bliss, is joy, is oneness with nature, being one, being free in this living body. So when I talk about it, I think freedom is something very, very important. And freedom from what? Form your own mind, form your own ego, form your own attachment.
And how can, let's go into like, how can people get free from their emotions so that they can live more fully and perform better at the end?
You know, coming back to Vedanta, because that is the reason I encourage people to read Vedanta.
Yeah.
Because it talks about something very profound, which I have been observing it and trying my best to live it, is that you are not this body. You are not this mind. You are not this intellect. It will make you think all the time. So whatever you have been conditioned for so many years, it will make you realize that nothing is permanent. And when that curiosity comes, automatically knowledge will come. So first, knowledge is very important to set yourself free. After knowledge, experience is very important, because knowledge will again bind you. And when knowledge and experience, they come together, that is where wisdom comes into play. You know, that man is very wise. That man is very evolved, because he has both knowledge plus experience of what? Of his own existence. Not what is happening outside. Because once you know what is happening inside, automatically you know what is happening outside. That is the beauty.
How did you come to that realization? We had just told me.
I have come to nothing.
Okay.
You're asking, I'm answering.
Yeah.
It's just spontaneous. Because I think the best way to counter this is try living it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if you have downfall, come back to this knowledge.
Yeah.
Then experience will come. But the problem, what I'm understanding with everyone, anywhere, and we all have knowledge. I know how to cook, but I'm too lazy to turn on the gas, to get water. That effort is lacking. And only with effort will come experience. So that is coming because constant effort should be there.
I see. And now I'm connecting, because you said something before, which was very interesting, is that like there's pain and everything starts with pain.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, they avoid the pain, right?
Yeah.
And I think the pain is the way, right? Is the way to get into bliss, as you say, right?
Yeah, you know, Vedanta says something very profound, which I have been understanding. Suppose you're very close to me, okay? You're very, very close to me. And Raj, I don't talk to Raj also. Okay. If practically, sorry Raj, you're very I don't talk to Raj also. Have you realized what pain is going to happen? Simple terms. I will be least bothered what is happening with Raj. There'll be no pain, no joyness also, because he's far off. But in your case, when something good happens, I'll be in pain. And when something bad happens to you also, I'll be in pain. The first one, good is happening because something, oh, you know what, he got a nice phone or car, I'll be jealous and pain will happen. At the same time, if you get some cut or some pain, I'll be in pain because I'm attached to you. So Vedanta says something very powerful, and these are the teachings that people should apply in their life. Pain is caused because of the association with the object. For example, I'm the subject, you are the object. Yeah, this is going to give me pain because I'm getting too friendly with you. Okay. The greater the association, the greater the pain. The less the association, the less the pain. So when people say be in the now, is just enjoy this moment and live it. But later when you come back, it will give you pain or joy, but that association is the problem. And I think association is the root cause where desires, thoughts start coming. So Vedanta is very practical and it should be applied. And I think the more you put effort, the more results you will get. And the more you will climb higher. And a leader should be here. He should go through that experience, not by degrees or not by giving exams, but understanding life.
Wow, that is profound.
Yeah.
That is so good, so good. Like, how can that be applied to the leaders? Our audience, they are leaders. They are people who are, they have a lot of stress. They need to take a lot of decisions. How what you just mentioned can be applied to them?
You know, I'll give you something very practical. As a person, A person can only become a leader when he's passionate about it.
Mm.
One, when he has the right intention. And secondly, when he has understood his behavior. Now everyone talks about behavior and all, but Bhagavad Gita has given in detail that every individual has a certain behavior. You might be having the best qualities to hold a conversation, talk. I might be having the best qualities just to meditate. Raj has the best qualities to create things, build software. Once you understand your behavior, you can take the category, and this is how society works. So you have leadership qualities. I have properties of making things, working. Raj is an intellectual person. He just makes. Girls, you are very good with communication. Once you understand your behavior, you can act in the world. So a leader should understand what his behavior is. Also, a leader should have the right intention to hold people together, to be in service. And his intention is not to meddle around with what is happening, but to channelize everything and take the team to the greatest height or whatever they have in mind. Once that is decoded, and that is where spiritual knowledge comes into play. Because school will never teach you this. Education will never, it will make you a money-making machine. It will put you that life is going to come to an end. That is the reason spiritual knowledge is very important. That is my understanding. I may be wrong, but this is the science of life, and it has been given a text very evidently that once that unknown is known, all is known to you.
Yeah. And practically, how do you think they can apply what you just said?
You know, they can apply it by practicing few awareness techniques.
Oh.
By understanding how the mind, ego, intellect is working, by understanding that what is a true existence, and by also understanding that there's a greater potential in humans to become highly evolved existential beings. And with that knowledge, you can become anything in the world. And at the same time, internally, you know that you are just an instrument. So there's a lot that is there. Because trust me, I've met many people who have read everything. Intellectually, they are so strong, they can debate with you. Oh, this is written in the text, this is the page number. But when you go outside, they are full of anxiety, full of jealousy, backbiting. No, that is not. But an experiential being has wisdom. Even when he knows that the other person is wrong, he will say sorry and end the conversation. That is what is important for the corporate world. So that the world becomes a better place. Also that the competition, jealousy, anxiety, everything is sorted. It is the foundation for higher growth.
I love, and also coming back to what you said is about that capacity to stay present, right? That's what
very important.
That's what you mentioned before. But I think the initial space to start is by self-awareness, right? That's where, like, just not like self-awareness, but also the awareness about the impact that we have on others. Maybe you can from the Vedanta philosophy, what is some practical ways we can practice self-awareness?
Vedanta will be very complicated at the moment to get. I will get something very simple, which is a combination of Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita.
Nice.
Which has been given by Bhagwan Krishna. And this is what I apply. The entire teachings of Bhagavad Gita, or if you take in a nutshell for people like us who are living in this world, is to give your best in every situation. Every little situation. Maybe good, maybe bad, maybe against your will, maybe in your favor, maybe someone is dying, you give your best. That means wherever you are placed, don't just show up, but be involved. Do what is required and just leave it. You will get what you deserve. If you have this quality, you will become leader automatically. Nature will push you because you will assign and you will understand and you will attune yourself to a greater energy which flows through you. This is keeping it very simple. It sounds very easy, but once you start applying, you will know how difficult life is because your identity, your ego will not accept it. Suppose you are a CEO and there's some dirt here. A highly evolved being will clean it because that is required at that moment, not to prove anyone. But that is his role because that is his house. That is his office. But I will not do it because, that's so low, I can't do it. Then the game changes. And in that state, people around you will start changing because your energy is that. If the leader himself is completely messed up and has is getting his all pent up emotions from home in the office, is worried about his saving, is worried about his retirement, how will the organization work? How will that energy flow?
Yeah, I think something that leaders, they struggle is about being fully present. Because there's so much, I mean, they're dealing with so much pressure, right?
More than that, sorry.
Okay.
More than that, there's something very interesting. Suppose you are a leader sitting in one place. You have a very simple role. Just focus at one thing first. Give your best. Automatically, you will be placed in another situation. At that time, you give your best. So, giving the best is the mantra that will save you.
Yeah.
And try it. Try it for 3 months. Try it for 6 months. Try it for a year. After that, you will realize, you know what, there's a drastic change in me. And you will start enjoying. Secondly, which is very important, only if the second factor is satisfied, we can come to the first. You should be happy in whatever you're doing. If you are not, you don't belong there. Finish. That is not meant for you. Look for something else. But you are there because you want name, you want fame, you want money. And things don't work like this.
Yeah, I love it so much what you say. And I think what I see a lot of leaders struggling is also a lack of purpose on what they do. Yeah. And so what is your advice for people to find more purpose in what they do?
I will give you a very generic answer which has helped a lot. Your purpose should always be uplifting yourself also and others also as a leader. Your purpose should not be egoistically driven. That is one point of view. Second point of view, if you are giving your best, your purpose will unfold. I'm explaining the same thing, but in different languages so that
I get it.
People understand according to their capacity.
I get it.
So my duty is to show up now. Next I'm going to meet someone after this. I'll show up. Automatically, the sun is always shining. It doesn't shine, okay, greater for you, less for me, less. It is shining. So you shine all the time.
Yeah.
Rest, everything nature will take care.
Yeah. And also it's about when you say like when we play fully, we are more present, right?
And something very interesting. Now they are saying, oh, he's talking like this, do that. I will tell you something. Once you have given your best in that situation, two things are going to happen. The guilt factor, which is getting you into low emotions, will never be there.
Oh.
And best doesn't mean that best according to written something on the blackboard or something according to the norms of the corporate. No. Best means whatever you can do in your best capacity, where inside you know that this is what I can do. And second thing, what I've realized, you can take my money, name, fame. You can't take my happiness, the joy of doing it. And that will come to you.
So good.
No, I may be wrong, but I'm just sharing my things how I operate.
I love it.
Because this is not in any text, it is experiential.
Yeah.
The more you follow, the more you realize. And small things will give you joy. I feel very sad because people don't even look outside. They don't even realize that, every day the birds are chirping, there are hornbills in Rishikesh, beautiful sunlight falling on Mother Ganga. You're so engrossed in that thing. Walk in nature, and you realize every nature is always offering. Always. And we humans are greedy. We want everything in excess. And we get destroyed in our own ego.
So in our journey as leaders, something else that is happening is handling stress. There's a lot of stress. Maybe you have a simple technique for people to work when they are in really high situations of stress. What can they do?
I would personally recommend, this is also we have done for many people in corporate or in business world, is managing your breath. Now people are talking about it, but thousands of years ago, more than 5,000 years ago, it is mentioned in text that your state of your mind is directly proportional to your breath. I'll give you a very simple example. I don't know, have you seen anyone getting into panic? Many people, if they can't handle, because your breath is not in control. So before you know that you're coming in stress, very simple, I would recommend people do pranayama, that is breath work. If you can't, every day for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, sit, disconnect, and just be aware of your breath. Inhale for 6 seconds, hold your breath for 6 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds. Do it for 15 minutes till you come to a stage where you can inhale 10, hold 10, exhale 10. And I assure you there will be a change and you'll become more aware. That is what a leader should do. And of course, he should do some asana. to keep the body strong, because the mind, body, breath all are connected. These are simple techniques. Because at that level, I assume people are very, very occupied. But it's a shame if you can't remove 10 minutes for yourself. What a waste of life. Because there's so much potential that you can tap in.
Yeah. For me, something that completely changed my life was when I started doing meditation daily. So now I do 1 hour of meditation every day.
Beautiful.
And it helped me a lot. It increased my performance. I'm more present.
Definitely. So, there's a sequence how it goes. From breath, we move to Tratak. It's a technique where you gaze into a flame.
Yeah.
And then you initially start a state of meditation. And meditation is a topic where there are different levels, different states, different techniques till you reach the ultimate. So for a beginner, I would personally recommend be aware of your breath, do some focusing, one-pointedness practices, and then you jump into meditation. So completely beginner who's completely new.
Yeah.
Because once you start doing that, you will become more focused in your work also.
Yeah.
We call it one-pointedness of anything. And then when there is one pointedness, every job is perfect. Nothing is undone. Everything is falling into place because of course the intention. You're doing it because you're enjoying it. Yep. And I believe that you can't blame others. Every situation in your life, at every point of time, you have the right to make decisions. And deep inside, you know what is right and wrong.
How do you tap into that power? I think it's very powerful. How do you tap into that?
The more the mind will become quiet, the more answers you'll start getting. That is the reason we call it the monkey mind. It's always running around. If you come to Rishikesh, it is flooded with monkeys. So, always chattering around, jumping around. We should be the wise monkey who's just watching.
So now, I mean, wow, you gave so much, so many insights. I love it so much. Like for people who are watching us, maybe they are a bit overwhelmed with so many things. What is the smallest thing that they can start doing in their life that will help them to be connected with themselves?
I would give you 3 small things. First is at a very personal level. First, come into acceptance of your situation.
Yeah.
There should be complete acceptance of your own situation. With that acceptance, forgive everyone that you clear that patch. Second, if you want to evolve and you know where you're going, do some practices, spiritual practices. Asana, pranayama, yam, niyam, dharana, then ashtanga yoga. And third is then give your best in the outside world. Because when you first accept yourself and you come into acceptance, that is where the curiosity will come to gain knowledge of who you are. With that knowledge, when you start practicing, experience will come. And wisdom will come when you start living it.
Oh, I see.
So 1 and 2 combines to get you to 3.
Yeah. Wow, I asked you for one simple one and you gave 3. You're very generous.
I think I don't know what I'm talking, but yeah, because
it's so good.
If it is resonating, that means you have understood. If it is not resonating, then I think the best way is to disconnect, be with yourself for 2-3 days and see what you want in life.
Yeah.
So there are different ways depending upon how mature you are and what you want to do.
Yeah.
And again, I come back to the first thing. You should be happy with what you're doing. This is the crux of everything in life. Then, in fact, and you know that I'm not happy, but I have a family to run.
Yeah.
I have money that I need. Then you have created expectations. And then you accept that life that you're going to be cranky. You're going to be sulking. You're going to be in pain. At the same time, what you're enjoying, what you're doing, nature will support you. That is wisdom coming to you.
So good. Well, like maybe people are trying to understand how this can be applied. Maybe do you have any example of someone that came to you, struggling, he or she was struggling, and then went on a journey and was able to
I have many people who have come to us.
Tell me,
in fact, even I am the one who's always struggling, but yeah, it is a process. I think it is a process that everyone goes through. Not everyone, but those who are ready. And I think the path of self-evolution and self-awareness is not meant for who are weak-hearted, not meant for who are scared of everything, not meant in your comfort zone. It will only start when you burst your bubble. So it is for everyone who has decided that they want to change. When your will is strong and when there's effort, even mountains will move. And that is where faith will come. So everything is connected in simple language. You have to take the first step. And there are people who are taking now. Because I think in this generation, whatever, we have seen, there are people who want to know, there are people who want to evolve.
Yeah, no, I'm curious, like a lot of people ask you a lot of questions, yeah? But what is maybe one question that not many people ask you and you would love to answer?
Many people ask me about my journey, which I never answer. And
I know.
And I can't pinpoint because there are so many people going through so many different experiences and they share it with so much of trust. So I think there's so much of diversity even in spiritual practices and there's so much to learn yet. I think it's a very beautiful journey. But, the path of evolution is not a bed full of roses. There's a bed full of thorns. Because at the end of the day, every rose has multiple thorns. That awareness should be there. A spiritual person is battling the highest battle against his own existence. So it's very difficult. But the end product is diamond. It is only light and light alone.
Wow. What a beautiful way to end our conversation where you start, which is what you just said now, with the thorn and the rose, which you start with pain.
We start with pain.
And you end with bliss.
Yeah, you become the fragrance of life.
Yeah. What is the one thing that you would love people to get really from our conversation? If there's one thing they don't forget.
I want people to contemplate, to take a step back, watch everything, see where you want to go in life, what is important for you, and realize that whatever is important now, after a few years, there'll be something more that is important. So realize what is important, that is your human existence and the potential that you can touch in this birth, not after death, not when you're born, but this very moment that is now.
Wow, that is so good. I enjoy so much your energy, your presence.
I don't know anything.
And how you are so, sharing so much and helping so many people.
Trust me, you ask me the same question, you'll get different answers. So I'm not doing anything. It's just happening. It's just happening.
So good. And that's how it happened is we were just present.
Yeah, and, even with you, we all just, how everything unfolds at the right time. That's something very beautiful. Anything comes to a conclusion when there are three factors. Right time, right place, right person. That is what is happening now. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hari Om Tat Sat.